When I began to hit golf balls, I thought, the earlier I start with the acceleration of the club head, the higher will be the resulting speed at the impact of the ball, and this was a tremendous mistake, because the straightening of the wrist hinge angle just takes less than 1/10 of a second, but the downswing of the arms takes a little less than 3/10 of a second. Every golfer should know this, but nobody does. So if you start to unhinge your wrists up here, your wrists are straight while the left arm has not even reached a horizontal position. And so your whole hand action is totally useless. Why? Because a really high speed of the club head is only reached in that short instant where the angle between left arm and shaft comes to its full extension. After this, the club head gets slower and slower, and your arm swing gets slower too, because the inertia of that long lever creates a strong resistance against the swing of the arms. You may struggle like a bull, but the speed of the club head will not increase at all. So, if you want to hit the ball with good speed, there is no other way than to wait with the straightening action of your wrists until the last third of the arm's downswing, and this is where your left arm reaches some 45 degrees between horizontal and vertical. In this moment, the wrists must still be fully hinged back, means some 90 degrees, and when the left arm is pointing to your right foot, the shaft should just be in a horizontal position. Only that way the full extension is reached just in the moment of impact, and this means, by the way, that the right wrist is still hinged back by some 30 degrees. So, in other words, a really high speed of the club head is only reached in that moment where the arms swing through and the wrists are being straightened. Both moves must happen at once, and obviously exactly above the ball, not somewhere up here and not halfway down. If you swing the club with straight wrists, your club head will not even reach 70% of the speed that will be reached if you straighten your wrist hinge shortly before impact, means almost above the ball. So, take note once and forever, club head speed is not at all a question of swinging the arms as fast as possible, but of straightening the wrist hinge as fast and as late as possible, and this is easier when the arms swing slower. However, the hands have to do something to hold the wrist hinge angle until the last third of the downswing. All gifted golfers do so unconsciously. It's a question of talent, but this doesn't mean that less gifted people cannot learn the sleight of hands. Most of them could, if they only were taught how, and this is a question of didactic methods. Instead of that, all middle and less gifted female handicapper are allowed by their coaches to throw the club away just beginning the downswing. And all middle and less gifted male handicappers straighten their wrist angle midway down. Some of them press the club down brutally, intending to hit the ball with maximum strength and soundness, and the results of both errors are low club head speed, uncontrolled ball impact, and correspondingly short and bad ball flights. One should understand this a little deeper. If you throw away the club just from the beginning of the downswing, you accelerate the club head in the opposite direction of your target, and then you will have to catch it and bring it back on track. Your swing will be slow, and hitting the ball there will be no hand action at all, just as if you have never set any angle to your wrists. And as it feels so slow, your body will force the action and make your swing just wearisome. And if you are used to push the club shaft with the strength of your right hand towards the ball halfway of the downswing, you accelerate the club head straight down to the ground and not towards the ball. And then you need a lot of power and dexterity to still manage a tolerable impact. And the club head speed will be low because your wrists are unhinged much too early, and you will hit the ball just as if they had never been hinged. Consider that just the concern of hitting the ball with precision makes your right hand push instead of holding back, and this will spoil all your best body efforts. And there is more. If your timing is just a little inaccurate, you will hit the ground before the ball. To prevent this, you will have to lift your hands by erecting your trunk or stretching your knees or lifting your heels, or bending your elbows, and all this is weakening your stroke. If you aim just a little higher, you will hit the ball with the lower edge of the club head. And if you lean your trunk to the left, trying to bring the lowest point of the club head path in front of the ball, your left shoulder shifts to the left, and your left arm can't swing through without bending its elbow. Fact is that you are not supposed to do anything to straighten your wrists at all. They will straighten automatically and as fast as they can if you only hold back long enough. In your hands and forearms, this will feel like a sort of uncontrollable jerk, but then you will know, that's it. In short, a good and high-speed impact depends ultimately from correct and well-timed hand action. I discovered all this and many more important details in the early 90s, and I started to publish in 2002. Since then, more and more experts talk about leg. They see that every fine player strikes with leg, and none of the millions of lays and amateurs do. And they wonder because they don't understand the meaning and the importance of leg for every golfer, also for you. Leg and the accurate timing is the essence of a good golf stroke and the precondition for a satisfying game. And I know you can learn it too, because I am a less gifted golfer, in fact absolutely unhandy, and I learned how to strike correctly and finally to play enjoyable rounds in tournaments. All this has made me so enthusiastic that I had to write a book for amateurs and professionals about it. There I explain in simple words and sketches the theoretic facts and a methodic path of learning. Its title is Don't Swing, but Strike, and it's now available for you.